Hello everybody and welcome back to the F1 2021 Co-op Career Mode Season 4 with me, Dan, and my co-commentator Nick, with our graphics provided by Matt Amos and Lom1138. We've finally come to the end of Season 4 and once again we'll be finishing off the season around Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. And well, hopefully we'll have a bit more of a spectacular finale than we've had in previous years. Of course, we've had a few small accidents over the other 3 seasons that we've had here or in Abu Dhabi, and well, let's just hope that we've got a good race on. Of course, next season we'll be heading to Jeddah for the season finale, so exciting times ahead. Don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and of course comment down below what was your highlight of the Grand Prix as we get on to the final starting grid for season 4. It's Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz on the front row for the final race. Then behind them we have George Russell and Sergio Perez picking up a second row spot for the final race. Then we have the two Mercedes drivers of Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo. Their form has definitely dropped in recent races. Then it's Esteban Ocon and Guan Yu Zhou in the McLaren. And rounding out the top 10 we have Max Verstappen and Nicholas Latifi. Moving on to P11 and 12, we've got the two Aston Martin drivers of Antonio Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll. And behind them we have Nikita Mazepin and Charles Leclerc in the first of the Haas. It's a good qualifying for him. Then it's Valtteri Bottas in the first Alfa Romeo, followed by his teammate Robert Schwartzman. Then we have Justin Freshpot, the first of the Ferraris, taking a massive engine penalty, and Mick Schumacher. And rounding out the back row we have Radiant Slothz and Pierre Gasly, also with penalties. Let's get on with the race. It's the Australian Grand Prix.
Justin Freshpot, a disappointing 17th. Radiant Slothz, an average 19th. You have to say, that's where he would usually start.
Both Ferraris
Justin
decided
Freshpot
to take massive penalties for no reason as we come into the first corner. Justin Freshpot, massive corner cut there. Rips up the lawn.
Course, because of the way the replay system works, Justin Freshpot racing with Radiant Sloth's number in this Grand Prix.
An incredible bit of development by the Codemasters team on display once again. Mick Schumacher crashes into Radiant Slothz in the background and almost spins him round. They will not be happy.
A quick tip for anyone watching, if you want to tell who's who in these videos, Justin Freshpot is the one who's further up the running order than Radiant Slothz. That works for all races. It's always right.
On this occasion, he's up the inside of Valtteri Bottas, a man who does now drive for Alfa Romeo, but our game predicted it before anyone else.
We actually made Valtteri Bottas move to Alfa Romeo to match our game. We got in touch with him, and he agreed.
Yeah, he was having a hard time deciding where to go, and we gave him the answer.
I sent him an email as we see Radiant Slothz cut the corner.
So far, we've commentated more on real life than the actual race going on, but I can give you a spoiler here that this is one of the most boring races that is still 15 minutes long that I have ever edited in my entire life. Justin Freshpot overtaking a Haas right now.
Move as he goes past a Haas on the straight. Will we see a dive bomb from him?
Unsurprisingly, other low-end Ferrari power unit cars being overtaken by the other Ferrari of Radiant Slothz in the background.
Freshpot all over the grass there. We don't need to pay too much attention to that as we see his onboard.
This is the start. He gets
an incredible start from
There's
Justin
one
Freshpot.
Alfa Romeo. That's Robert Schwartzman.
Blast off the grid, past the other Alfa Romeo. He sees the Haas. He goes up the inside. He's not given much room by the Haas, you have to say, as he backs out of it.
Charles Leclerc, very unfair there. There's Pierre Gasly, who also took a massive penalty. So he will be following the Ferraris on their adventure through the grid on this final outing for Season 4, as Justin Freshpot finishes his first couple of corners. This was the awful, in comparison,
Radiant
start.
Slothz once again loses places off the start. You have to wonder what he's doing in that car at the start.
He can't even see what's going on. There's dust everywhere.
There's a lot of debris.
Mud, dirt, dog shit being kicked up from the grass. This is a public park after all. There's probably some stale urine in the corner somewhere. As Justin Freshpot goes up the inside, he smashes Lance Stroll.
He gets Lance Stroll out of the way. He has had enough at this point. He's up to 13th. Radiant Slothz here Will we see a crash, corner cut, or track extend? Let's have a look.
What's it going to be?
Or will we get all three?
Charles Leclerc up ahead doing something. I missed exactly what it was. There was no corner cut there. I don't know what replay you were watching, but he's going up the inside of Valtteri Bottas. And he's not hit. You were going to say he's hit Valtteri Bottas. There was no contact. Radiant Slothz does not track extend. And now we get to see
Justin Freshbot now all over the back of Nikita Mazepin saying, "Get out of the bloody way."
Justin Freshbot,
like a transit van on the motorway, he pulls into the third lane.
Up the inside, he crashes into Nikita Mazepin and swears at him in Russian and then drives off without stopping. Justin Freshbot, of course, sported the wrong number this weekend.
And I've noticed running that car without registration plates, so that will make it hard for the police to track, as he now looks for a move on Latifi, who will crash into him.
And that's a good thing too, because the police are always on the ass of Nicholas Latifi for his shenanigans. He gets up the inside. Somehow, Latifi does not murder him, as we now watch Radiant Slothz following Gasly on their adventure through the grid. They're both on the medium tyre.
Up the inside. He
also crashes into Pierre Gasly, because he does not like the French.
That is racist.
Yeah, Gasly heard what he said, but is not able to keep up. As they storm through into one of the DRS zones. Up ahead, Nikita Mazepin. 4 laps behind Lance Stroll already. Incredible driver. This was the move.
See Radiant Slothz. Massive collision into the side of Gasly.
Bit of a moment there on the exit. Of course, every time he comes here, it's like driving on ice. As we rejoin him, he's now caught Nikita Mazepin at the same point that he overtook Gasly. And he's going to follow. Is it going to be yet another DRS overtake? No, he's going to go up the inside here. Oh, Nikita Mazepin closes the door. A poor decision to try going up the inside there against Mazepin.
Box.
And he has been given the call to come in. Oh, that's Justin Freshbot. He gets in. That is a very early stop again for the Ferrari driver.
He wants to get out of traffic maybe, then try and set some faster laps and jump some of the cars ahead.
One day
he comes into his box.
This might work, as the front jackman literally destroys the front wing trying to lift the car up. He's going to get sacked. And his family are not going to have a good Christmas.
Justin Freshbot here, racing nobody. What a driver.
Has he got the undercut on Verstappen? There he is. He's failed to do it, but he has closed the gap slightly. He's going to go around the outside at turn 2. Max Verstappen's going to get DRS because apparently he followed someone into the activation point.
Justin Freshbot up the inside. Max Verstappen moves slightly, but Justin Freshbot's through. Much faster driver. Much better car.
This was Radiant... No, this was not Radiant Slothz. This was Justin Freshbot going past Verstappen around the outside. Nice and easy. Verstappen is faster in a straight line, but not on the brakes in the Williams. And that was easy for Justin Freshbot. As we see Radiant Slothz rolling the dice with his life against Nicholas Latifi. Amazingly, is actually able to take this corner without crashing his car, which is something that he's spent 3 seasons doing. As he comes out of the final DRS zone on the lap, isn't able to get close enough. So he decides that he is going to tailgate Nicholas Latifi around the final corner. Up ahead, Lance Stroll, suffering on his soft tyres, has not come in. He's right at the back of Latifi right now.
Can he make the move, though? Both cars with DRS. Someone's come out of the pit lane.
That's not going to help him. He's got up the inside. He had to slow down. Perez getting in the way has caused him to lose the position. Let's ride on board. He sees Perez up ahead. He knows he might have to brake early, and Nicholas Latifi just cuts across, nearly wipes out his front wing. So he tries his luck once again. He's up the inside. Nicholas Latifi tried to puncture his tyre, but he missed. Thank God for reinforced tyres.
Box, box, box.
And that is the call for Radiant Slothz to come in for his soft tyres. We'll see if the undercut worked on Justin Freshbot. Did he stay ahead of his teammate? Something going on in the background there with Carlos Sainz getting in everybody's way. They're all going slow. Lewis Hamilton back there as well. Up ahead, Antonio Giovinazzi stays out for some reason. And they're all in. A whole train of them. There's Pierre Gasly finishing his adventure on the mediums.
Radiant Slothz comes in. Fresh set of boots already on the car before they put the fresh set of boots on. Incredible. The arrows the right way round this week. Good job.
Amazingly, no front wing change to Radiant Slothz at the Australian Grand Prix. That may be a first for him as the train exits the pit lane. Now he will have the last laugh. The only one on the softs around him. Already Lance Stroll feeling the pressure as they come down into this disgusting corner. Radiant Slothz will have no choice to put the power down. Lance Stroll tries to swipe it in, but he has no choice but to yield. Up the inside. Job done. Max Verstappen's next up the road. He's 5 seconds away. As Justin Freshbot
running a lonely race now.
He gets past someone coming out of the pit lane. That is Antonio Giovinazzi. He takes P9. That is 2 points to the Ferrari name. Guan Yu Zhou now 9.5 seconds up the road. There is no chance anyone's closing that gap. So now it all lies with Radiant Slothz to pick up Ferrari's final point of the season. He's gone up the inside of Max Verstappen down to turn 1. No contest here with the DRS. Giovinazzi 5.5 seconds up the road with 5 laps to go. Should be a straightforward move. Giovinazzi on the mediums potentially. There he is. He's called him. And it only took 2 laps. Giovinazzi very indecisive in the braking zone, moving all over the place. And Radiant Slothz will follow. Continue to follow. 1.5 laps or so left to go of Season 4. Nicholas Latifi unable to affect the outcome of this race anymore, given that he is so far back. This is a very spaced out field without a single safety car or incident, so we'll leave that to your judgment. Radiant Slothz follows Giovinazzi. DRS
Will we
open.
see a track extend? That's what we're all here for.
Amazingly, the Aston Martin's Mercedes power keeps him ahead for a little bit longer. Radiant Slothz will have to suffer looking at the back of that green car. Just for one more corner, but now he's alongside. DRS is open. And he will follow his teammate across the line to take the final point of the Grand Prix and the final point of the season. As we join them on the final lap, Radiant Slothz.
A massive track extend. That's what we came to see. Will he crash? That will be the last tick on the Radiant Slothz bingo card.
His soft tyres have worn out. Oh no, he's made a major error! Antonio Giovinazzi tries to wipe him out to see if he's okay. And Pierre Gasly hits his teammate. Unbelievable. Latifi was the victim for once there. That was an illegal overtake in a yellow flag zone, but Pierre Gasly will undoubtedly get away with it because he's AI. And he touches the curb. And that's the end of his race. And his season. Antonio Giovinazzi being gifted the final point on by default as Justin Freshbot rounds the final corner of the final lap of the final race. But if this is, of course, not the final
He's had a massive
season.
accident.
Huge accident. A massive repair bill will be sent to Ferrari. They are millions in the hole. We'll have to see if they can actually present a good car next
Justin
season.
Freshbot, as deserved, driver of the day, driver of the season, I'd say.
It's a good job that you're not on the
Christian
panel, Nick, because I feel like Justin Freshbot would get driver of the day every race.
As he deserves. Christian Horner celebrates Justin Freshbot getting driver of the day. George Russell cheering that he voted for Justin Freshbot.
I think he's
As
cheering
is the
about
rest of the Red Bull team.
this end of season performance from George Russell. Too little, too late, the speculators will say, from George Russell. That may have been his last opportunity to win in the Red Bull. We've got big regulation changes coming next season. If you're still with us, don't forget to tune in what will likely be the following Monday from this video. See those regulation changes. It's aero, power unit and chassis, so it's a major shake-up. We'll have to see who comes out on top. George Russell, get out of here. And there we have it, the final race of Season 4. George Russell takes the final victory, followed by championship winner Lando Norris and Sergio Perez in the Alpine. And then we have Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Esteban Ocon, Guan Yu Zhou, Justin Freshbot and Antonio Giovinazzi rounding out the top 10, with Radiant Slothz crashing out at the end of the race. So here is the final order for the Drivers' Championship. Of course, we know about Lando Norris and George Russell already solidifying P1 and 2. Behind them, Carlos Sainz finishes ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. Then it's back to Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, Guan Yu Zhou, and Yuki Tsunoda hangs on to the top 10. Justin Freshbot just missing out by 3 points. Then it's back to Radiant Slothz in P13. Now, of course, over in the Constructors, it was a straight-up battle for third place, as Red Bull and Mercedes have taken P1 and 2. Ferrari did finish ahead of McLaren, but only just into the final race of the season. Then it's back to Alpine, AlphaTauri, Williams, who were just missed out on 6th place, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas. We'll catch you for Season 5 next week.